Hey there! In this video we are going to show you some new amazing finds from the World War II and tell you how they got discovered. Let's get right to the chase. A T-70 tank. The remains of a Soviet T-70 tank have been recovered from the ground in Belarus, a kilometer from the famous Luchiskaya Height, where heavy fighting took place in 1944. The place to search was determined using archival documents. From the documents, it was found out that in March 1944, 3 Soviet tanks of this model were hit at this very place. The T-70 is a light Soviet tank. It was developed in October 1941 at the Gorky automobile plant. In January 1942, the T-70 was adopted for service and was mass-produced in several plants. Production of the T-70 continued until October 1943, when it was decided to discontinue its serial production. This was due to the results of combat operations in the summer of that year and the Red Army's great demand for Su-76 self-propelled artillery units based on the T-70. A total of 8,231 tanks of this type were produced. The local residents and the district administration helped in the search for the tank by providing a tractor for excavations. One of the tank pieces had a shell hole. It is likely that the tank was destroyed by an internal explosion of ammunition. The searchers hope to find out the names of the tank crew and their fate, and the parts of the tank will be handed over to the local museum. IL-2 aircraft. IL-2 plane with 2 fighters on board, pilot Sergei Bogdanov and gunner Nikolai Khartov, fell near the city of Kerch in November 12, 1943. The fate of the plane's crew became known only 80 years later. Last summer, Crimean searchers found the crash site of the Soviet IL-2 bomber near Kerch. The information about the crash site was provided by local residents, and the work on this site began. The hope of the searchers was a hint of the plane's number, and they were lucky. They dug up a plaque with the number of the plane on it. Then they turned to their fellow historians. So they found out the names of the crew and that the plane was shut down on November 12th. About 50 meters from the crash site, they found the grave of the pilots. There are reasons to believe that the IL-2 fell on enemy positions and the dead crew was buried by the enemy for sanitary reasons. The condition of the corpse was such that even their valuables were not removed, light jackets and parachutes. One of the dead pilots wore a cross. We managed to find relatives of Nikolai Khartov, a gunner of the IL-2 fighter plane. Pictures of Nikolai and his mother were found in the photo albums. A German armored personnel carrier. More than 80 years have passed since the end of the Battle of Stalingrad, but searchers continue to find military artifacts from those battles. Another amazing find was made near the city of Volgograd. A medium German half-track armored personnel carrier was completely buried underground. The searchers had to dig it out and reassemble many broken parts into a whole. Probably the tank came under artillery fire and was completely destroyed. The restorers will have a lot of work to do in order to restore it, but first they will have to find the money to purchase the missing parts, which still have to be found all over the country. That's all for today, friends. You can support our channel and help us create new videos by becoming a sponsor or by sending us a super thank. Find all the links in the description below.